What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and we are back with yet another tier list. We haven't done it in a long time, John. I mean, it's a year and counting.
We started this, yeah.
So I mean, when we were last doing the last round of tier list, I mean, it was good fun, wasn't it? And like,
it was.
We got the viewers engaged and what have you, and that kind of stuff. But the tier list we've got today is we're going to be ranking the whole Tottenham squad right now, as it stands. The tiers that we've got are elite, class, good, squad player, and sell.
Yeah, I like your rankings.
So it could get a bit brutal here today.
It could do, yeah.
But look, let's get straight into it. We're not going to be going in like position format. We're just going to be going in what you see on screen now. So we're going to start with a very controversial one, and the one we're starting with is Dele Alli.
Oh, you've gone in there straight there.
We're going straight in there.
Straight in there.
Wowzers. I'm going to put it out there, and for me, it's sell.
I can see why you said that, but do you want to explain why?
I mean, look, the guy under Jose Mourinho, I don't think they're going to work. This Dele Alli and Jose are just not going to work. We've seen it. I know when Jose first came in, he had a bit of a bounce and scored a few goals, but since then, it's just not worked out. And every time I don't feel that he's fighting tooth and nail to get back into this side. And since he's got back in, one good game maybe against Fulham, in the Europa League as well, but you can't really count that. But when we've seen him in the Premier League, I think it's just that lethargic Dele that we're used to seeing over the last couple of years. And for me, I think it's just time to cut our losses. And when you're looking at our squad now, players that can bring in a bit of money, I think he's the one, isn't it?
But you know what? He's always been that lethargic player, though. That's the thing people don't realise. I mean, I know you'll see little waves of him really looking as though he really wants it, which you saw at the beginning of under Mourinho. You saw a little bit of that. But his whole game is based on flicks and tricks.
It's true.
So I think what's happened is he doesn't suit the way that we play anymore.
Maybe.
And I think that he suited the way we played under Poch because we were camped out in the opposition's half. For 95% of the games we played, we dominated the ball. We were totally camped out in the opposition's half. So he was the one that could just do what he wanted. He was almost like given a free role in a way. And but now he's actually asked to do a lot more of the donkey work in midfield. So now that lethargic tricks and flicks type Dele Alli looks a little bit unwanted, doesn't it?
Yeah, and like in a Jose Mourinho system or in the system that we're playing this season, he gets lost in games completely. Gets completely lost in games. And for me, like I said before, I think that when you're looking at players where we need to get off the books and get money in to buy the new rebuild that we keep talking about, I think he's going to be one of the fall guys.
What's the other? So we've got sell or squad player.
It's elite, class, good, squad player, and sell. I'm going to go sell.
There's a case for squad player.
There is a case.
There's a case for that.
There is a case.
Yeah.
But I just think the way things are going right now, and in that position, in that cam position where he plays, we've got a Giovanni Lo Celso, we've got a resurgent Lucas Moura. So I just can't see a way that Dele plays too many minutes, to be honest.
You still think he's good though, right?
I think he's a good player, yeah. I rate him as a player, but I just think...
So stick him in good.
But in the terms of the squad, I would actually pick him as one of the players to be sold this summer.
I kind of want to agree with you in a way. I think we've kind of seen it this year that it's not happening, is it? And I think that will just probably still keep happening next year as well.
Exactly.
Maybe time to start. It's sad, isn't it?
It is sad. It's a sad end to
end to an era.
It is, because when he first broke into the team, when we bought him for MK Dons, he breathed fresh life into this team. But he's just gone a bit stale, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was like the jewel in our crown at one point, which is
was.
like, it's sad to see this happening. I mean, yeah.
We putting him in sell?
I don't know. I think he's a good player, so he could fit into good, if you know what I mean. But I also think he's a good player that we maybe should look to move on.
Exactly. But when's the last time we've seen that good Dele Alli on a consistent basis?
Europa, a couple of games ago. Overhead
on
kick.
A consistent basis, though.
Yeah. 2017.
It's going to have to go into sell.
Yeah,
all right. Dele is going into sell. There you go. Next up is Ben Davies.
For me, sell.
Sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make a case for Ben Davies to squad player because, he can fill in a few different positions. I think when he does fill in, I think that he does a good job when he's not playing consistently. When he comes in for the odd game here and there, I think he actually does a good role for the team. And I think that selling him could leave us short in terms of, if we were to sell him, I know Ryan Sessegnon's coming in next year, but we don't know how he's going to do. So if we were to sell Ben Davies this summer, I think that could leave us short in right back, in left back, because Reguilon, he gets injured quite often. So
I think they need to. I would quite like to see a replacement for Davies. Bring in like a second string left back. I'm bored of him, man. Like I'm just.
I know.
I'm a bit sick of it. It just says to me that we're not growing as a club. When you see him playing, he gets on the ball, and you're thinking, God, what has happened to us?
Yeah.
We're not. If you want to have an elite team that's capable of winning big trophies, you're not going to do that with a Davies. I'm sorry. Even your second string has to be, I think, almost top draw. I think.
What about keeping him with Sessegnon coming in as well? But he can be the fill-in gap.
He can be the third.
The fill-in gap for like third choice left back, fifth choice centre back as well.
Fifth choice.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's a squad game at the end of the day. But to be honest,
I can see the. I think between the two. Isn't
I think he's filtering through like in between squad player and sell.
This is where people in the comments are going to go, you need another tier in between.
Every time we do this, you need another tier.
One,
but look, I can accept him into sell if that's where you really want to put him.
That's how I feel about it. Just because how many years he's been here, it's just like, when you watch him, it's just, oh man, we're not growing.
Yeah.
That's
all right, look, let's put him into sell.
All right,
let's put him into sell. Ben Davies goes into sell. Next up is the Viking, Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg.
Oh, well,
Class.
Yeah.
Class.
What's a good? Are you
I was thinking somewhere in between good and class.
We need a new tier. We need a new
but yeah, I'll put him in class, actually. I think he has been class this season. I mean, there's been odd games here and there, but that happens to everyone at the end of the day. So
he's played nearly every game,
yeah, exactly.
And he's also, we weren't expecting that. Like, I was actually a bit worried he could be like a poor man's Stambouli.
Well, if you remember actually when we signed, I know you said that, but I don't know if you remember a video that we did at the time when we signed him. Simeon did it on his own, and the title was "How Hojbjerg Will Revolutionise Our Midfield."
Really?
Yeah.
Fair play. And I didn't see that.
Stat man Sim pulling through.
He's the stat man. I think they bought him on the back of stats as well. I think they looked at that and see how many interceptions he got.
Well, he's made the most tackles this season.
Yeah, so maybe that was done on that kind of metric, and it's worked. And also, I wasn't expecting to be so much of a leader, so vocal.
Yeah,
and I think he could almost, put a claim in to have the captain's armband.
Well, he came from.
I would quite like
he was
to
Southampton's
see him.
captain.
I would quite like to see him captain.
Would you put him captain over Kane?
Yeah, I would actually.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
All right, so we're putting him into class.
Yeah.
All right. Hojbjerg goes into class. Joe Hart. Joe Hart's just the ultimate squad player, isn't he? He's
squad player, yeah. I mean, could we get a better? We could probably bring in.
Probably get. I mean,
Gazaniga's better.
Gazaniga is better. He is better.
So, I mean, it depends what the other options are. That's the other thing, isn't it?
I mean,
if there's better options, then obviously sell.
But we've got so many more priorities in buying a backup keeper. You know what I mean? We need a first choice keeper.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, squad player, I think.
All right, we'll put him in squad player, Joe Hart. All right, here we go. Harry Winks. Sell. It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I mean,
I've said that since the day I came on the channel.
Yeah.
And you lot gave me shit about that. But I was like, no, seriously, guys, he's decent. But I always said at the beginning, I thought Skip was better.
Yeah.
And I called that.
I think you're 100% right. And I think in terms, Skippy's going to come in next season and give Winks a real problem.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think in terms of the squad next season, get rid of Winks and bring in Skip.
I mean, I was saying this yesterday, but I mean, Winks will look good in FA Cup games against Marine and Wycombe Wanderers and your Europa Leagues against your Carabags and
I can't remember the last time he's put in a good performance that's not that kind of level of opposition.
Yeah. So, or he might look good against teams that play a lot more possession-based football. Like even when he played against your Barcelonas and your Real Madrids, there was a little bit more time on the ball. It was a little bit more build-up, possession-based. He can look good in those instances. But when he's under the cosh, under pressure, I think he doesn't transition the ball, progress the ball quick enough, and I think it gets us in trouble. I think often when you play him, it hands the midfield over to the other team. I think in a lot of instances. So, I mean, he's between sell and squad player.
For me, it's a straight up sell.
Straight up sell.
Yeah, for me.
Is that recency bias, or is that because of the last couple of months? Because would you have said that a few months ago?
I wouldn't have said it at the beginning of the season, but with the season that Skip's having in the Championship with Norwich, it just makes me think that next season he's going to see even less game time than he is this season. Yeah. So, sell for me.
Yep.
All right, Swinksy goes into sell. So everyone's just going into sell at the moment. Davinson Sanchez.
Good.
Good.
Just good.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, well, he's in the team right now, isn't he?
But that's recency bias big time, isn't it?
No, I think he's okay. He's okay. He's not...
I would put him in a squad player.
Are you judging this on who you're going to bring in, and then what
Yeah,
happens to him after that?
I'm judging it on how the squad is this season and who I want to bring in kind of in the summer kind of thing. So I'm looking a bit forward.
Because right now he's more than a squad player.
Yeah, right now he's good. But I'm not talking about. I'm not thinking about the way Jose Mourinho looks at the squad. This is the way we look at the squad and the changes we want to make as well.
I think he should be our third choice centre back. So on the bench coming on.
That's a squad player, isn't it?
So then it will, yeah.
Squad player.
Yeah.
All right. Big Dave goes into squad player. Next up is Steven Bergwijn.
Do you know what? When we first rated him last year, I remember I said decent but soon to be quality. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think you're going to have to say it's a little worse than that now. I think now you're going to have to say squad player.
Yeah, I agree. Squad player. Hasn't done enough this season. Hasn't scored one goal. Not even one goal. So, I mean, he's got the qualities.
He's got the potential in him. And also when they do, I don't know if you watch the Spurs YouTube channel, when they show the training ground scenes, like he's doing all these like mad goals.
Yeah, it's true.
He's got these little death chips and stuff. I think he's got it in training, but I think he loses his nerve a little bit in the games. He's lost his confidence.
Yeah, I feel that he heavily relies on confidence. And when he first came to Spurs, you saw the confidence was brimming through him.
Yeah.
You know, got his big move to Tottenham. And since the turn of the year, since the start of the season, since he missing those chances against Liverpool, do
you think that hurt him?
I think
Liverpool
it did.
Game.
Not only that, but a lot of fans were coming out on social media and really berating him, and he had to block his comments on his social media. And at one point, he deleted all his recent Spurs pictures from his Instagram account and stuff like that. So I feel like he really is lacking.
That's one
confidence
thing I don't like about our fan base. That toxic element.
I agree.
So,
but squad player.
All
right. Squad player. Next up is Sergi Reguilon. Class for me.
Class, but what I would say though is the beginning part of the season he was class, and then it's been okay since he came back from injury.
Yeah, I agree.
He hasn't had
that many games though since back.
He hasn't actually looked that good, really.
Yeah,
at all.
I think he's been left wanting defensively a bit recently. I don't know if you remember the last game we played against. Who was the last game we played against? Villa. He started at left back role, and they were just getting in time and time again in that first half.
He's been a bit ropey actually,
and it actually took for Ben Davies to come on to shore up that left hand side.
I was actually thinking, this very unpopular opinion, but there was a time in the last few weeks where I went, there's not much between Ben Davies and Reguilon at the moment on current foot. Yeah,
really?
The way they were playing. But obviously Reguilon's a much better player. But what I would like to see him doing is, like he did at the beginning part of the season, unleash the freedom, just have the license to go forward. And you were seeing little bits of that. You were seeing that all the time at the beginning of the season. Yeah. It looks as though he's playing within himself a little bit now. You reckon? Yeah. I mean, I saw a little glimpse of it going forward against Villa, but I think when he was at his best, he was like tearing the fullbacks up at the beginning part of the season. So he was class at the beginning part of the season, and I'd say at the moment it's good. So I don't know where you want to put him. Still class.
I get your argument. I think maybe good now, but obviously he's a young player, so he's got the room to move up to class. Maybe next season or something like that.
So you think good?
Yeah, I agree with you.
But beginning part of the season, it was class, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right, so Reguilon goes into good, and that's our first player in good. Now we move on to Japhet Tanganga. It's got to be a squad player, surely.
Well, right now it's a squad player, but I think he's got a load of potential.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's got tools to be a top Premier League player, but right now you can't really fight that case with the amount of game time he's played as well.
I'm looking at the word good, and that kind of means first teamer, doesn't it? That if you could replace it could be like first teamer, then squad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not really a first teamer, is he, at the moment?
Exactly, so it's got to be squad player.
Squad player, yeah.
All right, so Tanganga goes into squad player. Lo Celso. This is an interesting one. I mean,
for me, class.
Really?
Yeah. It's just because of the injuries that blight him.
That's the thing.
He doesn't get a proper run.
That's the thing.
When he actually gets a run together, he can often look like the best player on the pitch.
I agree.
By actually sometimes
back end of last season, he was our best player, wasn't he?
Yeah. I actually had him down to be the player of the season for us this season, but he had all the injuries. So,
I think he flirts at the moment in between good and class just because of the season he's had this year.
That's because the appearances, though, isn't it? But what do you think of him as an actual player?
I rate him very highly as an actual player.
So how are we doing this? How are we going to judge this on I mean, I think if you're just taking away the injuries, he's class. If you're judging it on this season and like the appearances, it's good, I think.
All right, let's put him in class because I think he is on that level.
I think he is.
I genuinely believe he is.
Yeah.
So, all right. Lo Celso goes into class. Joe Rodon. Joe Rodon's got to go into squad player, doesn't he?
Squad player, isn't he?
He's got to go. But as well, similar to Japhet Tanganga, I actually think he's got a high ceiling, this Joe Rodon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Want to see him being played more, actually.
Yeah. So Joe Rodon goes into squad player. Tanguy and Dele. Elite or class for me?
I think the lower end of elite.
He flirts in between the two. He flirts in between the two, doesn't he? But can we really put him on elite just yet?
I want to, though.
I want to as well.
I think he's such a breath of fresh air in Dembele.
Yeah, I agree. And I rate him so highly. But is he on that elite level just yet? I think he will get there. But is he there yet?
Yeah, he's on the edge then, I guess.
We'll put him in class.
Remember, we put Dembele on the edge as well.
Yeah.
We actually put him in the higher end of class, I think.
But that was when all was said and done as well, remember?
Yeah, so maybe you've got to do the same here. Maybe stick him in the higher end of
We'll stick him in class with the view to be an elite player in the next couple of years.
I think he's high end class, the higher end of class.
I agree. All right, Tanguy and Dembele, you are class. Carlos Vinicius, seeing as he's a loan, so we can't really sell him. So
squad, isn't he?
Sell in our loan cases will be just send back kind of thing. Squad player, isn't it?
Squad player, yeah. Would you want to keep him though?
Not for 45 million.
No.
I would keep him for like
15 if you had
something like that. 15 million
keep him
tops.
For 15, yeah,
tops.
No more.
Yeah. All right, we'll put him in squad player. Gareth Bale.
Ooh.
The thing is, Gareth Bale, I wouldn't renew his loan. I wouldn't.
No.
So it's got to be a sell for me.
But he's a squad player right now.
Right now, but would you renew his loan?
If this was 2 weeks ago, what would you put him in?
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, with Gareth Bale, that performance against Arsenal just opened everyone's eyes, in my opinion, because he just left Doherty to just do it on his own vices kind of thing, and he wasn't getting back, he wasn't going forward. I mean, you can't put in that kind of performance against Arsenal as an elite player, as a top-class player. I'm sorry. I know there were other players on there like Tanguy and Dembele who played poorly that day, but Gareth Bale, I think he was one of the big reasons why we were so poor.
He's still
that
good
day
though.
Right, he is. But would you renew his loan?
I wouldn't.
So that's a sell then. I know it pains us to say it, doesn't it? It pains us because it's Gareth Bale, but
it's putting down the family dog.
Yeah,
it's good and it's sell, I think.
Or
maybe even class and sell.
Where are we putting him?
Well. Yeah, it's going to have to be sell, isn't it?
Sorry, Gareth, to do you like that, but you are going in to sell. Now, this is going to be an interesting one. Hugo Lloris. Elite, class, good.
Well, if we could keep him and get, as a second string goalie, maybe then it would be squad. But I actually think we should sell him.
But where do you think he's still class, though?
So
was he ever world class?
Well, for me, he was never world class. If that makes sense.
Was he ever? He was never elite, is what you're saying. World Cup winning.
You've got. Oh, so on this, yeah. For me, he was never elite in that like top 10 goalies in the world.
He was like the top end of class.
For me, he was always top end of class, and on his day, he was elite. I think.
And now,
good. Right now, he's
a good keeper.
Right now, it's good. Okay, yeah. But I actually think that we should move him on the end of this season.
All right, let's put him into good. I think we both agree.
So you
want to
keep him?
In terms of Hugo, would I want to keep him? I think his time at Tottenham is coming to an end. I think it's time for us to start looking for a new keeper. If you were to tell me Hugo Lloris will still be our number one goalkeeper next year, I wouldn't have too much of a problem with it.
I wouldn't be angry. Yeah.
I wouldn't have too much of a problem with it, but it's something that we need to keep in our minds, that we need to start thinking about replacing him.
What are the things that you're noticing him do now differently to, let's say, last year when he was having that?
Well, I think that since the turn of the year, really, he's just seen these mistakes start to creeping back into his game. What I felt that he's really strong at recently, where he wasn't maybe under Pochettino or right at the beginning of Mourinho, was coming and claiming the crosses.
Yeah, he's good at that. I'd say he's reliable.
He's really improved in that in that basis, but I just think he gets rooted a bit to his line a bit too much. I feel that he is declining as a goalkeeper. But having said that, I felt that the first half of the year this year and the second half of the year last year, I thought he was top quality.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I thought that when he came back from injury, surprisingly good, I thought. But he's lost a bit of that like cat-like agility, I've noticed. He doesn't have that same spring. I think he's good still getting down low to shots, and he's quite reliable. But if you notice, a lot of goals go in where he doesn't cover his angles. I mean, even if you look at the Ajax game where Ziyech scores, right?
Yeah.
That was an in-swing into the corner. Like, he didn't cover his angle whatsoever. It didn't even go into the corner.
I think that's been happening all over his career, though, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's not big enough either. He's too small to be like an elite goalie.
It's funny that, because he's actually 6'1".
But he doesn't. He
doesn't look like he's 6'1".
Yeah, but for me, that's still not even. I don't think even that's tall enough to be an elite goalie. In my opinion, you know. So I just don't think he's going to save you in those big games where you need him to put like a superhero performance out. All right. So for me, I would actually move him on. Actually, great work. You know,
You would put him in sell.
Yeah, I would.
You put Joe Hart in squad player and Lloris in sell.
Well, the thing is I think that Lloris wants to move on.
Yeah, I mean,
and so for that reason, you know, and I think Hart's a good backup goalie. It doesn't really matter with him, but we're talking about a first team goal, and we need that position needs to be secured. That's the importance of that, and so I think we need to bring in a top class.
Yeah,
goalie.
I agree with you, but even so, I don't think it's like a kind of most pressing issue that we've got in the squad.
Not the most
I think that
pressing
we need a
issue,
centre back first, we need a right back first. So I think that if Hugo Lloris is our first team choice goalie for next season, we're not going to have too many qualms about it. And it's still, and let's say if he is our first team choice goalkeeper next season, it'll be next season where it could be one of our most prioritised.
I mean, I'd be happy to have him as a squad player if he wants to play a number 2, but I don't think he'd ever want to do that, would he? So it's going to have to be sell or keep, you know. I don't think he'd want to stay and warm the bench, would he?
No. But for right now, is he going in? Where's he going? Because at the moment he's in good.
I wouldn't be angry if we kept him. So if you want to keep him in good,
let's keep him in good for now. And if we're looking to sign a new keeper, then we can relegate him to sell.
There we go.
All right, Moussa Sissoko. I think I know which way this is going.
I think probably gonna have to move him on now. He's 32.
Yeah, I agree. Moussa Sissoko to go and sell, and I think that he's lost a lot this season. I think that his passion has gone. I think that when you explain Moussa Sissoko, you always said that he put 100% in for the team, covers every blade of grass, and when he doesn't do that, he doesn't offer anything. And I feel that's what he's going through at the moment.
Do you not still think he works hard?
Nowhere near as hard as he used to.
He's definitely less effective now, and sometimes when he comes on, like, your heart sinks a bit now, doesn't it? So I would say sell now. Yeah.
All right, he goes and sell. Toby Alderweireld.
Well,
I'm going to say good. Still. For one more year, probably.
I would say class, actually. You
would say class?
Yeah, I would.
Really?
Yeah, because if you look at the games where he's played, we play well. The defence looks solid, and when he doesn't play, it looks a little bit. It looks all lost at sea. And I still think that even despite his age, I still think he's a class defender.
I think that's more of a reflection of our other centre backs than actually him, because I think he's definitely weaned in qualities over the last couple of years.
I think when I've watched him this season, he's been excellent. I have to say.
I think that he's gone down in pace. I think that you're never going to see him caught out like you've seen Eric Dier or Davies and Sanchez caught out. But I don't think he's as good as he used to be.
Was he ever rapid? Because
he was never rapid. It was always up there with him.
Yeah.
And I think it's still up there with him. But I still think he's declined as a defender.
Because I'm trying to think, you know, against Dortmund when he did the double drag back, you know.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that was absolutely rapid.
It was,
and he
but
mixed
that
the
was a
ball
long
off
time ago
Aubameyang.
now.
Yeah.
That
So
was
he ever rapid? Has he lost a lot of pace, do you think? Or is it just, has he never had that pace and we're just thinking he did?
I think that he was definitely faster than what he was, but I don't think he was ever like a top speedy centre-back.
Yeah, of course, but a lot faster than he is now, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I can't put him in class. I don't think he's class. I think he's good. I think probably on the similar level to like the Hugo Llorises and the Reguilons.
I think we've got one more season with him.
Yeah.
All right. I think between good and class for me.
All right, upper end of good. We'll put him.
Okay.
Eric Lamela.
Well, if you'd asked me this beginning of the season, I might have said sell.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually think that he's a squad player. I think you could maybe keep him on for a squad player.
I agree.
Because he's quite effective at the moment.
Yeah.
And this is actually the best we've seen him play in this whole Spurs career. So why would you want to move him on at this point?
Yeah.
You know,
that Rabona against Arsenal is
he's
enough for another 5 years. Another 5-year contract.
Immortalised forever.
All right, squad player for Eric Lamela. And we got Harry Kane. So that's obviously going in elite, isn't it? Harry Kane goes into elite. Serge Aurier.
I would quite like to see us get a proper right back in, so he becomes the second choice.
So we put him as squad player.
I would quite like him to be a squad player, but we bring in a top quality right back. I
completely agree. Yeah. Because I think Serge Aurier, when you're looking at Serge Aurier, the outside perception of Serge Aurier is that he makes so many mistakes, he's rash, he's clumsy. But since Jose has come in, he's hardly made a mistake.
He has.
No, I mean those glaring mistakes where he really gives away a penalty, or those really stupid.
Yeah, he has.
There was one penalty he gave away.
Yeah.
Against, who was it, Leicester?
Recently, wasn't it?
Against Leicester.
Yeah.
But apart from that, he's not like you fear every time he gets on the ball like you used to.
Yeah, but I think that he makes those mistakes in the big games like that against the top teams. You won't notice it against 90% of the opposition. He'll look okay. He actually looks good against 90% of opposition, but that 10% of opposition, that's when he gets exposed. Same with Sanchez, exactly the same thing happens with him. So for me, I would like him to be a squad player.
All right, we'll put him as squad player. Aurier is going into squad player. Heung-min Son.
Elite.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, easy.
So you've got the two elite players there in Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, the most prolific striking duo in Premier League history. And now we move over to Matt Doherty.
Oh, God.
Sell.
He'd be the first one I saw.
Yeah, I agree. Matt Doherty goes into sell.
Bye,
Eric
Gunnar.
Dier.
I want to see him sold.
I agree.
And I want to see him sold before Mourinho goes, because I do not want to have a new manager come in and the Dier clock's
Eric
reset.
Dier bounce.
And it's like, we want to bring give him a chance.
Why
again.
does every manager love Eric Dier? Why does he keep getting picked in the England squad as well?
Because I think he to the untrained eye, I think he looks like this really powerful, strong, industrial style defender. And I don't think they watch him long enough to see these gaffes and these calamitous moments. But as Spurs fans, we see this week in, week out. He'll look good for 89 minutes, and there's 1 minute where he's always had this thing where he does like a stupid back pass to Lloris, gets us in trouble, stuff like that. Or like he always fails to step up on the offsides, And he just clumsy. He's the most clumsy player we've got at the club. I mean, going off for a shit against Chelsea. You know what I mean? I mean, who else would do that? Of course, it's got to be Dier, isn't it?
I can't believe he won that game.
I know, and he nearly gave the guy. We nearly conceded when he went off as well.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, mate, but I know he's actually a great guy, and he's like plays that big brother in the squad. But like, you've had a good innings, Eric. But I think
it's time to go.
Yeah,
time to go. All right, Eric Dier into sell, and the last one is your favourite one, Lucas Moura.
Oh,
elite.
Get him in there. Well,
I think
you're going to say good, aren't you? But
I'm going to say good.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I might even say squad player.
Why?
Because that's what he is. As a squad player. At the moment, he's a first choice in that number 10 position. But look, let's be honest here. If you're going to pick a number 10, who would you pick, Lucas or Giovanni, fully fit?
Well, on current form, you'd have Moura.
Yeah, but in terms of what they actually bring. Because you put Giovanni in class.
You've got me here. You've snookered me here. You've done that on purpose, haven't you? Can we meet in the middle?
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Lucas Moura goes into good, but that is definite recent bias. That is 100% recent bias.
No, I've always liked Moura, you know that.
Moura sexual.
Yeah, Moura sexual.
All right, so there you have it. That is the whole Tottenham squad have been ranked. Let's go through and just show you what we've done here. So we have got into sell, we've got Dele Alli, Ben Davies, Harry Winks, Gareth Bale, Moussa Sissoko, Matt Doherty, and Eric Dier. I mean, that's a lot of business we've got this summer to do. It's a lot of business.
I feel lighter just knowing we're shipping them off. I feel good. Purge.
In squad player, we've got Joe Hart, Davinson Sanchez, Steven Bergwijn, Japhet Tanganga, Joe Rodon, Carlos Vinicius, Eric Lamela, and Serge Aurier.
With a potential to sell Hart or Vinicius, I guess, depending on.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on
what
who.
The other
it also depends on who we bring in and stuff like that as well. Yeah. In good, we've got Reguilon, Lloris, Alderweireld, and Lucas Moura. I think in those ones, you got to say Lloris and Alderweireld are weaning down in their powers. Reguilon could easily go up.
And he was
to the next
class
level.
At the beginning of the season.
Reguilon could easily go on the next level. But I think good is probably Moura's ceiling, to be honest. I can't ever see Moura going into the class category. And then in class, we've got Hojbjerg, Lo Celso, and Tanganga and Dele. And then in elite, we've got Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. So how are you feeling about that list?
Well, I feel like if Hojbjerg's in class, I want more in there. You know what I mean?
You're too much of a morosexual.
All right, I'll leave it there.
All right, so there you have it. That is our tier list. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree, if you disagree. Let me know your tiers in the comment section below. John, thanks a lot for joining me for this one. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you want more of this kind of tier list content. Yeah, so there you have it. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.